tonight. Now, hundreds of millions of shillings for a single dose of medicine. It sounds unimaginable, but for one family in Nairobi's Kasarani estate, it was the price of hope. Their son, Baby Kiama, was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy, a rare genetic disease that weakens muscles and stills movement. Most children with the condition don't live to see their second birthday. But against all odds, Baby Kiama, who just turned 2, Lily's Mutinda tells us the story of a family's relentless fight for their son's life and miracle that changed everything.
On the day Baby Kiama turned 2, his parents put everything else on hold, dedicating the entire day to him and spending it indoors, giggling at his playful bubbles and following his tiny commands. This might be an atypical way to spend a birthday to an outsider, but turning 2 years old for Baby Kiama seemed a mirage, a miracle. To understand why, you would have to go back to this day, June 17th, 2024. Imagine being ill, your muscles don't work as they should, and the only drug that can save you costs hundreds of millions of shillings.
It costs $2.1 million. Dollars, not Kenya shillings. And it is one time. We've averaged it to 330, considering the costs 330 million Kenya shillings. That drug has to be given to a baby before they get to 2 years. So this is a race. So that would mean he is 9 months away. We just targeted 1 million Kenyans.
The condition is called spinal muscular atrophy, SMA type 1, the most severe of the 4 SMA types. It is a rare neuromuscular disease that tends to weaken muscles and still movement. Many children with SMA type 1 die before their second birthday, and as such, treatment is a race against time as it is offered before a child turns 2.
You ever felt like you're walking through a horror movie? I remember just thinking, I cannot again. Not after like the bliss of believing that this baby wouldn't have the same condition. So for him to have it, it means his dad and myself are carriers. Again, which is something you can't guess, because we're both functional and fine. We don't have any medical issues. So it's not something you can anticipate in a baby.
They had already lost their daughter, Ruby Macharia, while waiting for a drug that never came. This time, they couldn't wait. Treating genetic conditions comes at an unbearable cost, and while SMA type 1 has no cure, doctors say that the right treatment could slow its progression and even improve quality of life. So they embarked on fundraising. The clock was ticking, but money refused to follow. The last time we were here in September 2024, this family was fundraising close to 300 million shillings for a drug that was a lifeline for their son, Kiama. They did not get the funds, but there's been a beautiful twist to this story. And his mom says that Kiama now lives to his name. He is a miracle.
Sometime in September, one time, usiku, when everyone else was sleeping, I think I was just reading things online. There are pages dedicated to SMA. And I saw the name of a certain drug that wasn't among the common drugs that are known for treatment of SMA. But on looking, I didn't see, it hadn't gotten any traction.
It was a new gene therapy drug being offered as a clinical trial in China. His doctor cleared them to travel.
I didn't know about this drug, but from what Dr. So-and-so has told me, you can go, but proceed with caution. Because, how do I say this? This is a new drug in the market.
A clinical trial is a research study that tests new medical treatment to see if they are safe and effective for people before approval for public use.
So we get to China. They receive us vizuri sana, really, really well. And what I loved about that place is that for them to do this for babies, we're not the only ones. There are other families, Vietnamese families, Pakistani families. Some had babies older than Kiama. Some had babies younger than Kiama. We get there now, they start running tests, thorough tests. And what I saw was that they took care of these babies really well. Not just with Kiama, I saw even with the other babies. There's physio every day, every day.
On November 21, 2024, baby Jamari Kiama received the infusion. His parents did not pay for it.
Every week they used to test our baby's blood to see whether it had any effect. And thankfully, all the babies who received that drug, none of them had any negative. The internal organs were functioning okay. He got the gene therapy. And we get to see our son do things that he wasn't doing before. And I know parents shouldn't compare kids, but our daughter never got this chance, you know. She didn't receive any treatment at all. We had tried and it didn't happen. But to see him and what he can do, and to see we have never seen him do what he's doing, for us it is enough. Kiama can roll on his left and his right, up to his stomach. He hasn't known how to, when he lies on his stomach and he lies on his hand, he doesn't know how to remove it yet, but we are working on it. But the fact that he can roll, and then he can hold his head longer, up longer. He tries to sit up longer. That is, I know people will say, 2-year-old by now should be running around, but this is our miracle.
Yes. Generally, in her telling, baby Kiama is a jovial child, his face lighting up at the sight of his physiotherapist, who comes to their home at least 3 times a week. For baby Kiama, it is time to play, but in reality, these are sessions to strengthen his muscles.
On the days we don't have therapy, so if it's sitting him down, we either place him on the mat and then observe how long he can sit and support in case he falls you, because he still needs that support from us. He still does most of his feeding through the G-tube, but we started introducing just a bit for him to know taste and all that, and to exercise his swallow muscles. And he enjoys food. He enjoys taste a lot.
The treatment is still in its early days, but for Pauline, it's a glimmer of hope, a chance to change the course of her son's life. And on March 13th, as baby Kiama turned 2, that hope felt even more real.
2 for us was such a milestone kwa sababu, please remember that the cutoff for treatment was 2 years. We were actually dreading the 2-year mark. And for us to celebrate his birthday without thinking about a target. And then fast forward to us trying to do the fundraise for an impossible amount of money. That is a whole other miracle on itself, how we decided to do it. And we decided to do it with just 10 months to go before the cutoff, and then now getting this drug.
After his physiotherapy session, Pauline cradles Kiama on her thigh. He bubbles, his little voice filling the room. She smiles and says softly, "You know Kiama means miracle. He is our miracle." Lilis Njeru Mutinda, NTV.